Hello everyone, Anne from Gorgeous Greenies here. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter holiday. A little bit delayed here due to the holiday, spending time with the family and busyness as always. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but I do work a full-time job. I'm a notary and I do Gorgeous Greenies and have all the animals around the house and everything. But, just like everybody else, I have a life other than doing stuff for Gorgeous Greenies. I do apologize for the delay, but here we are today. We're going to touch on something a little bit different today. Gorgeous Greenies does focus on plants as well, and we believe in growing plants by any means that you have possible. There's all different ways to grow, different substrates, different mechanisms. So today we're going to focus on an Aerogarden, which if anyone's not familiar with them, they basically grow the plants in water alone with a little tiny soil pod and liquid plant food. They're very efficient. They can be used just about anywhere, and it provides its own light source, so you don't have to worry about it being by a window or anything of that nature. Aerogarden is the brand that I use, but I know that there are plenty of other brands out there that you can use that do the same thing. I've even seen people create their own. So I'm just going to do a brief little overview of the one that I have and show you how to get it set up and what to do to start growing. So I have a 9-pod Aerogarden. It's the Bounty Basic. Your very first thing to do is obviously take it out of the box and set everything up. You can get extra of the platform trellises that stand up. I would say go with at least 2. I do want to get a third one, but for right now we're just using the 2. We've grown many things out of this Aerogarden. Today we're going to be planting some heirloom tomatoes. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to get your water filled in here. And we have it basically full already, but there is a little line in here that says fill to here. So we're going to make sure that we have the water up to there because that's the best place. You want to always keep your water to that level. You don't want it to go too low because if it goes too low, then the motor, the pump in there is going to end up drying up and having problems. So we fill it up to that line. And then our next step is we're going to drop in some of the pre-seeded pods. So you can get these little pods. They make them in other brands. They also have ones that you can just get the empty plastic canister and you can get the soil pod and then you can put whatever seeds you want to in there. These are heirloom cherry tomatoes. Since we have a 9-pod and the tomato plants are a little bit bigger plant, we're going to probably only want to put 3 pods in here and we'll space them out. So you just drop them in like that. I like to space them out as far as they can go separate. All right. And then if you see down here on the screen, it says your Aerogarden lost power. Select the option that best fits. So mine was unplugged for the move. We actually couldn't find it for a while, but there's 2 options. It says my power went out or start a new garden. We're gonna start a new garden. And then it gives you the guide. So we need to set our time as well. Right now it is 9:02 p.m. So we're gonna set the time. Oops. And then, all right. Okay. All right, now we need to select the type of garden that we're doing. Well, we are doing tomatoes, so we're going to select tomatoes. Okay. All right, and it says, for tomato garden, your light will be on for 15 hours. Currently, your light is scheduled to turn on at 8 a.m., which it's fine, whatever time, as long as it does the 15 hours. You can change the time for when you want it to start, but I'm just going to go with what it tells us, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And I'll just okay through here. Okay, then it's telling us, pour water through port to fill line. Extremely hard water may impact growth. So I do have well water, but we have a softener and we have filtration, so we know that our water is good. If you have city water, I recommend you leaving your city water sit out for at least 24 hours so that the chlorine can dissipate from it before using it, or collect rainwater or maybe spring water. All right, it's telling us to go ahead and put the grow pods in, which we already did that. Then it says to add plant food through the port. So for 3 pods in a 9-pod system, we're going to add 2 capfuls. And we just pour it in the cap and then dump it in. And this is just liquid plant food that comes with the Aerogarden. I'm going to rinse it out in there. This is what the plant food is. It's just liquid plant food. There are other brands that you can use, and there are some homemade recipes that you can make to use instead as well, which I've done those before too. I'll probably do a video in the future showing you how you can make that homemade recipe for the liquid plant food. All right, then we're going to click OK, and it says, congratulations, your Aerogarden is now ready to grow. Touch OK to continue. Okay. It says your pump will run 1 hour every 11 hours when in germination mode. After 2 weeks, it shifts automatically to the best pump cycle for your planted garden. Okay, see there, and it tells us that our water level is full, and it's got 0 days because today we just started it. Our last step that we're going to do is we're going to put our little caps on, our little greenhouse caps, just so that it can help these little babies grow a little bit quicker. You don't have to, but I noticed that it does help. These pods are not 100% successful. Of all of the pods that I've grown, I would say I've had maybe 6 that have failed. If you do buy the Aerogarden brand, you actually can go on their website, let them know which pods you had that failed, and they will send you out new ones. So this is day 1. We just planted these in our Aerogarden, and we're going to see where it goes from here. So I'll keep you guys posted, and maybe you guys can give this a shot too. Thank you so much. As always, remember, Anne from Gorgeous Greenies telling you to live and love to the fullest and be kind. Thanks, guys. Bye.